Thank you so much. Good afternoon, gentlemen of the cave. Let me take the opportunity to wish you all a happy, holy, you know, Resurrection Sunday. I know some of you might not be Christians, but this is one of the most holiest day in the Christian calendar or on the Christian calendar, and it's very important. Sometimes that we find the genesis of these events, but not just that it is a holy and a significant day in Christian calendar. It's one that encompasses so much hope. Yes, the Christian community is defined by the death, the resurrection of Jesus. Yes, the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus. In that is hope. In that is hope for us. That's what defines us, from other religious affiliations. Yes, and therefore it's very important that we take some time just to remember, to reflect, and of course to give thanks for the possibility to give thanks for all that the Lord would have us to accomplish in our lifetime, providing that we live according to His dictates and His mandate. And therefore, we just want to give God thanks for another beautiful Sunday. We spent it in church. It was wonderful. It was an awesome service. Again, we remind ourselves of the hope of glory. I know some people think that there's nothing up there. Nevertheless, we still give God thanks because we are human beings. And to be quite frank, if we were the masters of ourselves, then I mean, the future wouldn't look so bright. And therefore, it's important for us to just take a time out, take a chill pill, and look at what the Lord has done. We want to give you an icebreaker. I'm not sure the video is there. We're going to give you about a 3 to 5 minute clip from the icebreaker, something to just get your minds going, stimulated, and then we can generate some discussion, a quick discussion afterwards, so we can see where that goes. So we'll also take team to put up that video about yes, it's an African lady was making these statements, and there seems to be some merit to the statement. Beg your pardon, it's hunger, but I'm good. um, and then we will take it from there. If you talk about
sex is an end. To a woman, sex is a means.
Can we get it up? No, oh, probably I should rephrase that. You know what I mean? Can we put up the video? Can we put up a video? Be good if we can put up a video. What? But let us just talk it through until we have a video, if we can get a video. The point this lady was making, yes, and she's part of a woman ministry, right? She was saying that listen, sex have different meaning to people, and sex remain intercourse, remain cohabitation together with each other. It has she has to take it. She has to take it. Whether in a food or something, put in a drink or something, she can't drink it or something.
No.
Beg your pardon.
Doctor said she wants to switch.
Beg your pardon. Fatherly duties. I've been called to one of those things. Beg your pardon. Sorry about that. She was saying that sex means different things to different people. For the male, she suggests that it's a means to an end, and for the woman, she said it is really about the future. I really wish we could get the video up. The video not coming up just now. All right, we'll take a look at it later. But it's a very interesting proposition that she put forward. And when we look at it, we will find more interested facts coming out of what she had suggested, given the ideas that she's putting forward. It, to be quite frank, if the perspectives are correct, then of course the end result might be a different end result. If we are aware, because one of the things that we need to look at is that we need to be aware of our situation and conditions as we enter into those situations and conditions to get the best out of it. Um, Today, we want to look at um, two things, right? We want to look at let me get this proper. Yeah, let me get this proper. Yes. We're looking at crime and violence and the way forward, and we're looking at domestic abuse and communication. We're going to start with crime and violence first. That's what we're going to start with first. That's our first stop. That's our first discussion. That's the first thing that we're going to do. That's the first thing that we're going to get into. And we want to get into it deep. We want to kind of ferret out some truths, and so that we can move the thing forward into a more solution based discussion at the end of it. Okay. Um, I was mindful, so I actually looked up some statistics, and Jamaica have some serious statistics in terms of what we are faced with, what we're faced with. So that's part of our challenge. So we look at the crime report, and this is January to April 2022. Let me see if I can get this turned. Okay, yes, crime report. I'm not going into. I never want to go into the division thing, but just to look at the numbers. I'm not getting the raw stats numbers, but we can look at it and see how best we can move it forward. Uh, we're not police. We're citizens, the citizenry, but we want to also look at it. In 2022, Kingston Central, there was what 24 murders. Yes. In Kingston Eastern, and we're going to take a few other parishes, not all of them. We're looking at 25 murders. Um, we're looking at Kingston Western, 32 murders. Kingston Central, 24 murders. Kingston North, 15. Kingston St. Andrew South, 58, which is serious because I live in, I think, South St. Andrew. Um, then we look at St. Catherine North, 34. St. Catherine South, 44. St. James, 50. Trelawney 4, Westmoreland 24, Hanover 15, St. Mary 1, St. Anne 17, Portland 4, Manchester 9, Clarendon 28, St. Elizabeth 9, St. Thomas 9. Grand total for this period of time compared to last year, 426. Compared to this year, 429. So we're up slightly there. Um, but when we look at what's this now, shootings, shooting is up significantly over the last period. You know what I mean? So we're looking at 300 in total 377 as opposed to 337. So we're looking at a number of things, and we need to try to make here while the sun shine. We're trying to just make it happen. And as a people, we can't just sit down and just think that the police alone will do all of this. We can look at theft and robbery; those are up. I think last year sexual crimes, rape and so on was up. Murder is up. And of course, our political directorate will always suggest that it is not as bad as it is. Yes, it is not as bad as it is, and it's not worse than last year. However, the numbers speak for themselves. One thing though I want to us to look at is this: as men, in particular, because most of these crimes are committed by men. That's what the stat says. Okay, how do we impact our community? How do we impact our community? How do we impact positively on the community? And I know some persons might have their own take on the matter. Some persons figure that you just need to start giving back to the community, so everything the community want, the community get. You understand me? We need to have more book drive and back to school thing and all that. I am not necessarily buying into those ideas, and there's a reason for it. There is a reason for it. I won't put my reason on the table just yet, but my thing is, do you have any idea? Do we have any idea? Is there anybody online who have an idea of how we can mitigate against the kind of crime and the criminality that is rampant today in Jamaica? And I don't want to feel away, because guess what? The experts them don't have the answer, So the fact of the matter is, any idea that we have that we can put on the table, as long as it's a working idea, then at least we'll have an opportunity to contribute to the solving of certain criminal activities. And therefore, we want for that to happen. We want for that to happen. We want for the kind of dialogue that will take place now, that will allow for um, we contributing to the development, the well-being, the safety of the community that we live in. Because we live in a community, we have a vested interest. One man would have called it self-enlightened self-interest. So we have a vested interest in our communities becoming the kind of communities where we want our children to grow up. And I have a very interesting theory that I want to share some things with you guys. And you can think about it, and you can object. It really doesn't matter. We are men, and we're having a discussion. So, is there anybody online who would want to suggest, who would want to make a suggestion, who want to give a proposal on how we can impact positively on the situation and not, of course, exacerbate the situation? We're looking at crime and violence today, and as men, we're looking at what we can do to make an impact on the reduction of crime and violence in our community. Again, well, I'm seeing one person online, one person. Yes. I think others might be on the YouTube, watching it on YouTube. But we need to find a way to get their discussion, their suggestion in as well. So we're going to work with the tech team where that is concerned, so we can, work through some things. I'm going to suggest something. We have a discussion at church and at various levels, and looking at how we can transform a society. And some persons might, in their intellectual disposition, they might want to suggest all manner of things. One person says you need more social programs. Another person says you need more training center. Another person says, well, we need to have all the amenities in the community that the people require. Another set of persons said, government needs to spend more money in some areas that will negate against persons turning to crime and violence. There are a number of things. Persons have looked at the music and say, the music, we need more positive music. Some people have all kind of different things to say, and all kind of different input. They have all kind of different programs that cost all kind of different money, a whole lot of money, and just a great big expenditure. And they are feeling that great big expenditure. Yes, I see that, Sir Craig. I see that, Sir Craig. We need social intervention. Yes, in Jamaica, church can help out as well. Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you so much. What else can we do? There is some other things, because as Craig said, persons are looking at the social interventions, but I believe that it's deeper than that. I believe that that might help for some, but I think it's deeper than that. Yes, we're talking crime, violence, and the way forward, and then we'll touch on domestic abuse and communication. But I'm going to tell you, I think it's deeper than that. It might seem facetious, and I don't want to be facetious. It's not my intent, give me a second, to be facetious. But there is something that I believe that we can do and that we need to do in order to impact positively on the community that we are at, right? What's that we can do? One, I think the structure, I think the family, the organization of families in community need to change. And the only person who can change that is you and I. I think how we operate as family need to change. Um, some persons, are. I've gone over the edge already. Um, there is still redemption for those, but I think we need to change. I think we need to change how we communicate. I think as family, we need to understand, we need to set the precedents in the family, and we need to set the precedents as family. And therefore, what I am proposing might not find favor with a number of persons, but I believe if you have a family member who is basically an outlaw, not somebody who, if you trouble him, trouble you, but you have people who are outlaws, gangsters, people with criminal intent and murderous intention. I believe if those persons are in the family, then we need to ask them to turn themselves in. That's one of the hardest things we might have to do, but I believe that that is what needs to take place. I also believe that the fact that courtesy must come back to the community is also important. When I was a little boy and I walked the street from top to bottom, every house that I passed with an adult outside, I would have to tell morning. Morning, Mr. Jones, morning, Miss So and so, morning, 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 until I reach basic school. Morning, which is a basic courtesy, even that has been eroded. And the funniest thing, it's not eroded by the children themselves. It is eroded by parents. I stand at my gate sometime and people walk by my gate and nobody tell me morning. Sometimes the children tell me morning and the parents don't tell me no morning. Is that thing they don't understand? When I was younger, my grandmother said the moving person speaks. So if you stand at your gate and somebody passing, they tell you morning. That's a standard. That's what's understood. No, we don't tell people morning. We don't greet people. We don't say thank you. We don't say can I, may I, could you please. Those things are things that are past, but those things are the same things that would allow for those persons to feel good within themselves and to pass on the kind of morning reception, the kind of morning mindset that we would need to have. And to be quite frank, I am saying this, and people might say, that's a simplistic way of looking at it, but I have proven it time and time again. I remember I used to go to market every Saturday. And what I would do when I hit Coronation Market, from the gate to where we normally buy from the different people, everybody get a morning. Everybody get a morning. Hi, how you doing? Morning, morning, morning. How much of that? Oh my, it's looking so lovely. Give me two of that. Oh my, morning. How you doing? How everything? You well? All right, it's good to see you. It's another Saturday. Bless the Lord. Thank you, sis. Listen, and what I found when I used to do that was that the people with whom I interface, whom I never know them come from, when them live, who them is, those persons responded to me in a positive way. Just because I told him morning, just because I tell him God bless you, thank you so much, just because I was courteous, people treat me different. I said, give me two of those plants. They said, okay, no, no, that's not for you, man. And they should go under the basket and should take out some nice ones, look pretty. They don't want to, and no blemish upon them. You know what I mean? and she's telling you that. Listen, people responded to it. People responded to the pleasantries. They responded to the courtesies. They responded to manners. They responded to it, and they responded in a positive way. No matter how miserable. As a matter of fact, if they're miserable, you come and them knows you who are the morning, they make some adjustment in their attitude in order to deal with you. Just by telling them morning. In many communities today in Jamaica, there are a number of young men, we call them unattached youth. They are not necessarily unattached. Some of them might be wayward, but the fact of the matter is, they live somewhere, they have a home. They might not be doing what you like, because them worry about little thing, them unmiggle, them and you unmiggle. And sometimes when you say that, nobody want to tell nobody morning, because some of them face tell them tell you all kind of foolishness, don't it? But the fact of the matter is, courtesy is courtesy. How would you walk through a bunch of guys like that and not tell them morning? Why would you not diffuse a situation? Why would you not find a method to diffuse a situation? Like, Recently, I was looking at a gentleman it's not a podcast. It was in a TikTok, and they were telling you how to diffuse situations. And therefore, he was in this bar, and he was looking at a guy, and the guy's a bad man. That's why I'm saying, yo, yo, professor. And he responded, you know, I love that shirt you have on, brother. Where you get it from? Where you buy that shirt? Look, no, I love that shirt, man. That shirt they sell off. Man, I told him, oh, yeah, pray him, so. Yo, yeah, pray him, so, brother. And he said, no, man, yo, the shirt, shot. The shirt sell off, brother. Where you get that shirt from? You want two shirt like that. Automatically. Automatically. He might go tell you something facetious now and make it look like her. But him can't, if him get mad and look upon you, everybody will upon him like a fool. Because you look upon him and he must say, what you upon me for? I love your shirt. How am I going to respond to I love your shirt? You see, one of the things that we have time to do is that we don't use our common sense when we are in situations like that. Yeah? When we're in a situation like that, testosterone come into play and who have the biggest, testicles come into play. And we are saying no, life can be much different. Life should be much different. And if life is much different, the whole one respond is what makes a difference in a situation like that. If you go in a place and you someone and you look afraid, and those men have intention to rob you, then they rob you, you're afraid. They already win the fight. If you're not afraid, then you go up to them and ask them all a serious question like, me looking for Mr. Jones. Yeah, man, Mr. Jones have a business to take care of. Me look for Mr. Jones. When we can find Mr. Jones. What Jones name? Them call him Big Head or, Blacker or Marga man. Them call him something. You understand me? And thing. And you be surprised that them man probably show you try to find him. Mark, you have the odd ones that may rob you still. But the fact of the matter is, you're in a situation like that, and you want to defuse the situation. How do you defuse the situation? Do you put up a front? Do you put up a barricade? Do you put up a wall? What do you do in a situation like that? You defuse. You de-escalate. We have many things. I'm in Jamaica because nobody wants to de-escalate. And then I firmly believe, forgive me, men, forgive me, but I do believe that there are a number of young persons, men in particular, in our society, and I think that they have mental challenges, or rather, they're mentally ill. Let me get it clear. Let me say it correct. I think they're mentally ill. And how do you know this? People don't know how to communicate. You're talking to a person, and you're talking to them about something good. You're talking to them about, and all them get upon you. You man, yo, blah blah blah. But yeah, if you mal ditch me, sometimes people say something that I disrespect, but so you interpret it as a disrespect. People tell me all the time about my mother, and I'm okay with that. I have sucked my mother when I was a baby. How long? How much months me I suck her for? So no one tell me what's up my mother. No, I beg your pardon. The language might be strong, but how would I respond? Unless I'm going to ask him. So how familiar do you drink? You understand what I'm saying? If I ask him that, no, I'm getting vexed. You understand me? But the fact of the matter is, some things don't trigger me anymore like that. No, not trigger me. It's like the thing, my head get tough, me don't know. But people use it to trigger you, to draw you out, and people use it as a stepping stone to their own anger and retaliatory response to you. And I'm saying that what we have to learn to do as men first, we have to teach people manners. You have boy people, you have to have manners. You have girl people, you have to have manners. You don't pass out on the road and say, morning, morning, sir, morning, ma'am, morning, miss, morning, so and so. We do that. We used to do that as when we were younger. We do that when we still do it now. You don't just walk past people. You go in a place, you go in a doctor's office and tell people in there you don't say morning. You just go straight up to the counter and say, you say, okay, you're the 21st worst on the list. You don't say morning to people. There's no pleasantries to pass. So I am saying, we can't attack the process from one angle. We can't attack it just by putting social amenities. And I'm going to tell you too what social amenities do. When people behave bad and you put in social amenities, it's like you're rewarding them for behaving bad. in real life. It's like you're rewarding them for behaving bad. It's like if you want some in your community, if you want them build some in your community, they all just behave bad and just come with it. Come spend some money, you get some road work on it. Those things not where they know long term benefit to that. And some people in their mind think that some of these men who are bad want work. That's a lie. Disabuse yourself of it. Some people don't want to work. It is not in them to work. It is easier to steal, to rob, to plunder, to come tear on your store and tear on your yard and leak out your window, go in there and take out the things and go sell them for liquor and nothing. It is easier for them to do that. So we think that they want work. So we say, no man, skills training. And I said, we want to do some skill training. Nobody not turn up. Or, as we have done in the past, pay them to come for training. Market, they might not be able to afford it. Fine. For those who can't afford it, we could deal with it. But I firmly believe that if you can smoke 3 and 4 spliff a day, you can afford a bus fare. I'm telling you that. Kind of 50 cents a stick. And not $1 a quarter. You might can buy a $100 bag. But the fact of the matter is, if you can find that, if you can feed that beast, if you can feed that habit, you can find bus fare to go where you're going. So my thing is simply, we have to start from the family. We have to start from individual family in the community. And it has to be a standard that all of us agree on to some degree. We might not agree on all the parts, but we must agree on some basic fundamental human behavior and attitude. Yes? That can allow for us to be better. We will never solve crime and violence by employing more crime and violence. And I'm going to tell you why I said that. I'm saying this because what I find is this. There's crime and violence and the police go in. The police go in and brutalize the criminal and brutalize the innocent. And what he makes of the innocent is that them don't start to resent the police because the police came in and brutalize them and them never do nothing. We kill the bad man them and the bad man them say, yeah, I saw the man on my road. So guess what now? It's kill or be killed. So it become more violent. If you notice, the violence that is perpetrated has increased in intensity because you never solve violence through violent means. It will never be solved. It will be solved through what we call reformation, through reorientation, re-socialization. So for us to attack this crime and violence thing, we must be re-socialized. And therefore the family which is the first unit of society, the family must take lead in that activity of re-socialization. The challenge we also have is that some of the social institutions that we interface with, schools and so on, sometimes those people don't practice what you want your child to practice. And as a result now, you are trying to inculcate good values and the school is inculcating in them bad values. So again, we need to start to have the kind of conversation that we need to start having. Yes? Bad values versus good values. We need the conversation to start. We need the conversation to take place. We need to find a way to answer the questions of life. And we cannot look to government. Let me tell you something what we have missed. And I think because we have no feel that we have arrived and we are no want to become a first world country that we have missed this. The education and the orientation of your child should never be left up to government. Let me say it again. The education and the orientation of your child should never be left up to government. They work for us. We don't work for them. And therefore, the values that we bring to the table must be the overarching value of your child. Yes, they might not take in everything, because some people, decide to go to want it. But the bottom line is, we must determine that, not the government, not the policies of the government. The policies of the government must make it easier for us to do what we are doing. But it cannot be for us to leave up the education and the orientation of our child to the government. The government is broken. It is run by men. They have shortcomings too. And some might be perverts. Who knows? We don't know. But the fact of the matter is, you cannot leave it up to them. You can't live it up to that which you don't know. It is absolutely ridiculous. It is absolutely ludicrous for us to do that. The education system is fraught with its own pitfalls. Right now, you wonder why our daughters and our sons have a different take on the issue of sexuality and all the foreign and alien orientation that is now coming into play. You ever wonder why? When you know in your house, you constantly say X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, but it's easier for them to accept it. You know why? Because in the school, it is easier to accept. Because they're now being taught alternative family configuration in the school. So your children are being now programmed to accept that which you never accept. And they spend more time at school than they spend with you because you're busy trying to make the next dollar. Yes? The teacher trying to finish the curriculum and whatever in the curriculum should go and pour into them while you're busy trying to find the next dollar. The burden of the crime situation in Jamaica should not rest squarely on the government. No, government have a responsibility to provide us with a safe space. But the bottom line is, if the foundational basic building blocks of the society is broken, then everything that springs out of it is broken. There's no stream that the top is bitter and down a middle part and the bottom sweet. None. If dirty water come from top, it will flow go straight on the bottom. And therefore, we need to understand what is it that we need to do. What is it that our foreparents did before this? And they never had so much resource like we. What is it that they did in order to get us to become contributing members of society, productive members of society? They did something. The question is, what is it that they did? Why we are not as broken as some of our children know? And why is it that you're broken when we have so much more at our disposal than we had when our parents we were under our parents' rule and roof? And I don't care that people say that they want to go back to whatever, go back to. No, I don't necessarily believe in corporal punishment. I believe that the person needs to get punishment. I don't believe in abuse, but I think we need to institute some stuff. So some of our children, you see, not being punished for nothing with them though. Yes? And therefore, the parents are afraid of the children. The government want the parents to be afraid of the children. The children don't afraid of nobody. And we think that we're going to get a better society later on. So people are run around now do them thing. Parents are afraid of them picking them because they get them get involved in this and they don't want to talk to them and they don't want to give them up. So you have them in the house, a man start par with some little man and them give him a little fire stick we carry home and them hide and you bucket to me and see just say, we are doing this. I'm like, you know what I mean? I might think this and we don't want to give him up because we don't want him to go to prison. You understand me? Because we face him go to prison now, they look bad, they look bad for we. You understand me? And the bottom line, we afraid of him because he's done strap. You understand me? So we know afraid of our own picnic. The picnic go to school, the teacher afraid of the picnic. Yes. The government afraid of the picnic, and the government wants you to be afraid of the picnic. Yes. And therefore everybody afraid of the picnic don't afraid of nobody. And the picnic continue to do what the picnic get inculcated, get oriented in the culture, the nexus of evil that basically took him out of your hand and your reach. Is the picnic what you have to now deal with. My thing is simple. We have to find a way to address some of those issues. And the government cannot address it. And I hear them talk putting on parenting seminar. Parenting seminar is good. But if a psychologist come and think say that's the only thing that make the people move, that don't make no sense. If the government come and try to force over the certain things, that don't make no sense. You understand me? That don't make no sense. Sense it don't make. My thing is simple. The family must reassert itself to become an important aspect and very important aspect of what is to take place. And they must demand it. It should be demanded. The family must take back its place. The family must return to its place. Yes, that's what the family need to do. return to its place. You understand me? And in doing so, what the family going to know? And in doing so, the family now will now make what we call it now representation. Beg your pardon, what a second. On behalf of itself or on behalf of the community to make the thing work in its favor. That's simple maths. You understand me? It's a simple maths. And that's what we want. The family must take back its position in the society. Must. There's no if now, but now, maybe. It must. You must take back your part in the society. You must be reasserted. You must come back. Something happened. Oh, God. Something just irritated beside us. You must take it back. You must take it back. And what it means is that fathers must reassert their position as fathers, and mothers must reassert their position as mothers. You are the head of your household, not father by himself, but father and mother. That is a principle that we learned many years ago. That's a principle that we learned from the good book. That's a principle. Father and mother together, rearing children, father and mother together, ensuring that when them go to line, the discipline is applied. Father and mother on the same page. What are the values of our family? What are the values? What are the values that you have, I have, everybody have? What are the values? What are the values that we're going to inculcate in our children in this family? The whole issue of courtesy and manners have to be a critical part of it. Yes? Have to be a critical part of it. Must be. It can't be no other way. It cannot be no other way. It must be, there must be a critical part that we walk. A critical part that we walk. And in walking that critical part, give me a second, please. Something just irritated my science a second and it's messing me up. Give me a second, please. Beg your pardon. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. I don't know what's just happened a while ago. It just messed me up a little bit. All right, so that is part and parcel of what needs to take place. We must return. And I know people don't like returning, but we need to return. We need to return to where? We need to return to the place where we need to be in order for our society to be a better society. Yes, that's what needs to happen. That is what needs to happen. And there's no two way about it. There's two way about it. It requires also a kind of mindset that would allow for persons before we decide that we just want to hook up with somebody because sex good. Yeah, we have to be honest. Sometimes that's what it's about. We want to hook up together because sex good. Girl look good and our body look good, and we want to hook up together. Yes, we don't even know what love is, to be honest. Because some of us have never experienced real love in a family sense. We have not experienced real love in a family sense. And therefore, what the thing is, we just, yeah, girl look good with us, yeah, want to hook up with a girl and we just do a thing. Yeah. We don't give it any long thought. We don't give it any deep thought. There's no deep thought to it. She like you and she want to hook up with you. You like she and you want to hook up with her. She say, boy, your body look good because you're muscular, you're well built and all these things. That is okay for her. She don't care if you're working. She don't care if you earn $1. She don't, yo, you're hot boy on the end, she want you. You want time because you grow up on the end so. But yet they don't never sit down and say, boy, what we want for the future? What we going to work? How we going to work this? If we have kids, how we going to grow them? How we going to make them survive? How are we going to make life? You understand me? That's just all a word where old people misuse or we never understand them. We have to make life together. How you make life together? Because remember, you know, the honey don't always in the moon. At some point in time, the honey will run out. At some point in time, when you squeeze the moon, there's no more honey in there. And in that situation now, how do you go forward? How you move forward? When the honey done out of the moon, when the sex and the excitement of having this woman or having this man for the first time, when all the freakiness done, when you have gone through the book of freakiness, what happens next? When you get pregnant, what happens next? When the child come, what happens next? Are you prepared for that child? Are you prepared to do what is necessary for the child to grow up with solid values and morals and manners? Are we doing that? Or are we just no, we just do our thing, you know, because it's just one of those things? Listen, it is time for us to stop doing our thing because it's one of those things. It's time we stop the anything and anything. It's time we stop a chat board like I hear one man said many years ago. Oh, you can build someone I know because education free. That is rubbish. Listen, they don't even understand. In the genesis of free education, it was not because man could have 100 women and have 100 picnic. That was not why it was there. It was there because we wanted for the country to become a competitive nation state. And guess what? We understood that a number of persons were below the poverty line and they couldn't afford certain things because education was for the privileged few until a certain national hero changed it, until a certain prime minister prioritized it. So it was not about giving license for you to go and sow wild oats everywhere. That was not what it's about. It was about ensuring that the next generation is more equipped to deal with the issues of life than the generation before them. And so it must be as we go forward that the household, the family unit, the extended family unit must return to its place of prominence in the society. If we want certain things to be done, if we want certain things to change, if we want to make certain things happen, it simply means that we must make it happen. Men must make it happen. This is man cave, you know. No, in the man cave, you know, no, sir, not another nice things and rare. No, we are talking about some serious things. We are talking about things that will allow us to impact positively upon the society that we are. If you have children, you must take care of children. If you have children, you cannot allow for the woman with whom you have children to create a kind of wall between you and them. And you can't say, boy, you don't care about the people because you don't like the mother again. That those things are archaic and those things are, listen, a way back a bush time thing that when men have children, when men get children, they have a responsibility to care for their children. They have a responsibility to care for and ensure that the education that their children receive is education that they want. It's education that can set them apart. It's education that can, you know, give them an upward trajectory. It's an education that can facilitate and allow for the country to grow at large. We have made many errors. Right now, I hear young people talking and say they're not busy about nothing else but themselves. That's ridiculous. No man is an island. No man stands alone. Each man joy is joy to me, and each man whatever is whatever to me, and each man joy. Listen, we need to understand that together we move forward. I tell you before, you know, in a very early stage of man cave, you know, that listen, there is no such thing as independence. Independence is a fallacy. It's a word designed to give us a kind of pseudo effect. It's like a placebo. We talk about independence. There's no country in this world that is truly independent. Every country in this world is interdependent. Every family is interdependent. Every community is interdependent. Interdependency is what it is, not independent. You hear politicians now jumping on the wagon and chatting foolishness. They can always chat foolishness. They will always be politicians and they will always talk foolishness. There is no such thing as independence. Independence in purest form means that you are independent, mutually exclusive from everything else, and that you are self-sufficient and self-sustaining. That is ridiculous. It don't make no sense. That is not how country grow, human being grow, socialize, communities grow, improve. That is not how it grow. That is not how it go. And we must disabuse ourselves of this foolishness. Men, you must return to your place of prominence in the family. You are not a sperm donor, and you are not an itinerant ram goat. And because that's the only skirt there, that don't mean you have to pregnant that skirt. So we need. Oh my God, I sound like a crazy man, but but that's how it go for real. Loving people is more than just she look good, she round, and she fat and everything nice. Loving people is more than she give me good sex or she give me good whatever. Loving people is more than that. When you love people, you care for people. How do you propose to care for her? What are you doing? What are you going to do? Have a plan? Did you plan for? How you plan for this? How you plan for that? You can't have woman. Let me share something with you. And again, I don't want to be critical because everybody has their own story and everybody has their own unfortunate situation. But I'm gonna share something with you. You know, very often I see people and in the media saying, them live in a little board house, make out a two piece of cardboard and two before when they pick up down the road. And them have a woman in there and she have 4 or 5 penny for them. You know, I am not moved. And you going to say I'm privileged because I'm working. I'm not moved. And I wasn't working all the time. I am not moved. And I tell you why I'm not moved. If, and I say this all the time, people laughing up. If a man can live on a cheap piece of cardboard with some pallet to hold it up, and him have 4 pitney, it means that he has been having sex on the floor, on the ground, on the dirt, or whatever it is. So. And the woman have 4 pitney, it means that they're having pleasure upon the floor. Yes? That means them don't need nothing more. Because if she had demanded more, probably more likely him to get more. If she had demanded from the first and say, yo, we can't live, so we have to make some changes, we have to do some things. It wouldn't happen that way. If him can drop him pants and have sex with the woman, him can do more. If you have 2 pints alone him have, look how the pints are dash free. Go look some of the free pints are dash, fix it up, cut it up, fix it up, and these things. And be a nice to go out of pallet. You can't be a nice to go out of pallet. You cannot say this is where you live and you want someone to help you. Help you do what? Help you to do what? And she can't say, boy, things bad with me. Things bad with you, why? Why things bad with you? I have 4 penny up on the floor. You don't have a stove, you don't have a fridge. But yes, you have grow 4 penny. You could have done better. We need to demand better from our partners. We need to demand better from our spouses. We need to demand better. We need to sit down even before we have to demand nothing and have a conversation. It's not just about sex. It's not just about rape. Listen, companionship is more than that. And again, we can't. We have given up the right. It's like we have surrendered our right to be in the head of a household. I don't care how much money a woman working. I don't care how rich she is. I don't care nothing about that. I am saying though, if we are in a family, we are in a family. And if we are in a family, together we are going to build, together we are going to ensure that our children do the right thing. She's my partner. She's my partner. And therefore we are going to try and do the right thing. Sometimes we may make errors, yes. Sometimes we may have a disagreement, yes. But the fact of the matter is, one thing is certain: when it comes to the rearing of a child, the principle that raised that child must never be compromised. The principle that raised that child must be agreed upon by both parents. And you must ensure that if them go to school and they hear something different, if you go to school, you go tell the parents and say, listen, you tell the children, say, listen, that's not how I grow my child. Manners is this, X is that. That's my principle. We need to demand that. And if it means that the government has said they put something in place and that's what they're doing, then we need to demand from the government that they change them system and bring it in line with the principles of the people who they serve. It's not we serve them, it's them serve we. So some of those things have to be done. Man, we have to do it. No, I know I might be talking to the choir, so don't feel away. Some of you might not be fathers yet, but you hope to become fathers and husbands. Yes, we understand that. You understand me? Some of you are fathers already. You have been doing this work. I know this. I've nobody man upon the line. We know them from a long time. So we understand what it means to be a father. Press forward. You know, if you have to go to school, you have to make best education, this thing. We understand all that. Yes? And we hold fast to the values. Them need to hold fast to the values that we have. We need to ensure that take place. And we need to ensure another thing take place. That when we equip our youngsters, our children, when we equip them, we must give them space to exercise the values that we have inculcated in them. If they want to tweak that a little bit, fine. Them are adult now. Adult can make their own decision. But if the values mean something to them, if the values were worth having, if the values serve them well, they would. I don't think them going to depart from it. One and two, but not all of them. And therefore, that is all we need to push forward. That is all we need to move forward. Yes? And so as we move forward, we need to have that kind of connectivity, that kind, and we're going to go straight into this for about 5 minutes because I think we might have a continue on the whole domestic thing. And so that brings us to the issue of communication. Yes, we are building our life together. We have children together. We want to impact on the crime and violence. So we have to train and inculcate in our children the kind of value that will not allow them to want to get rich quick. Not to them to go there and be fascinated with a gunman because him bling out and sitting and thing, but him murder and people get the money. Yeah, we have to inculcate the right thing in our children. But it comes back down also to communication. The same thing that causes us to be in trouble a whole of time with our spouses, or rather, the lack of which causes us to be in problem with our spouses. The same communication have caused many persons to go south of the border. Now, I'm going to share my view. You probably don't share my view, but my view is this. If a man become violent with a woman, in a domestic abuse situation, yes, then me see him sometimes as less than a man. Because sometimes it's not like somebody attack you and you repel the attack. Sometimes a man just feel like say because he's big and strong and tough, just box on the woman and everything to disagree is just gonna lead down and everything. That is foolishness. A man like that is an embarrassment to God. I mean I borrow from my virgin they will preach something for them name. Serious man that. But it's a serious thing. If a man can physically abuse a woman over foolishness, over nothing, over a case where I remember somebody showed me that, listen, she cook and show the food and thing, and she carry the man food from give man, you know, she eased herself on the way. And the man get vexed and dash the plate and the food, everything. So that's rubbish. Physically, no, that's rubbish. Ease yourself is a natural thing, brother. Yeah, man, for like a cracker thing, that's a natural thing. That. So, me not see why you don't want physically assault lady for that. Me not see why you don't make that a big deal. Me not see why because we have a disagreement, that you have a physically assault. No, we can agree to disagree and we can have serious, contentious issue and we argue it out and discuss it and argue it out point, counter point, counter point, counter point, and still don't become violent. And therefore, we need to understand say, the issue of violence come from a kind of backamaster, come from a kind of post-traumatic slavery experience that we feel that we have to become violent with some people who are not violent with us. And yet the wicked thing, the people who were supposed to violent with like a man who are trying to protect us, we're afraid of them. We have to change the paradigm, brother. Brothers, we have to change the paradigm. Someone said, well, I'm not really talkative now. You must be talkative because for the woman who wants you and love you and marry you, you must drop some lyrics. So if you can drop some lyrics, then yeah, you can accept, oh, you're a strong silent type. You know, strong silent type around here. If the lyrics are for guitar, then you can talk. And you're not strong and silent. And therefore the conversation must be had. Again, it come back to how we growing up and how we want to, with children to grow up, We want to have the kind of understanding going into relationships that will allow for everybody to be able to live their best life. It don't mean that the lady must be a subservient under you. It don't mean that the lady no, it don't mean that she have to walk behind you neither. Because some people have to walk. No, that's not what it means. It don't mean that she's a servant to you. It don't mean that listen, at the ever beck and call. If she decides to do that, more power to her, but that is not what it's all about. It's about love. It's about caring for each other. It's about explaining what is it that we want from each other. And at the end of the day, if we make life together, as the old people used to say, what is it that we're going to accomplish together? We're going to buy a house together. We're going to buy a car together. We're going to go back to school together. We're going to have 4 children together. We're going to raise our 4 children, them to be the best men and women the society have ever seen. Listen, that's what it's all about. It's about we communicating from early stages. It means that we must now disabuse ourselves of the issues of the fact that because she's sexy and nice and brown and pretty or black and beautiful, whatever it is, that she have boobs and bottom and whatever, her posteriors are extremely round and we like round posteriors and all these things. It is more than that. Relationship is more than that. Relationship is more than good sex. Relationship is more better than it is more than freaky sex. It is better than that, and it's more than that. So, as men, we need to understand. We need to understand this. Marky, we are driven by our eyes, but we are also men. Yes, being that we have a brain in our head. Yes, and when your brain, which is 3.5 pounds, would have developed fully, it's more functional than a computer. And therefore, we have to understand that relationship is more than that. And as a man, you need to understand that if you want persons to influence person, it can't be through violence. And women need to understand that as well. It cannot be through violence. It can't be through your rape and one little man and fling 2 big stone and go for your brother to go give him gunshot. No, it can't be that way either. And it can't be that every time she says something and you feel so she just say right, you box her down, you kick her down, and you beat her, and she not a picnic. We're not married to a picnic. And this is where we have to come back now, center ourselves on the principles of the scripture. We know everybody not go to church, but guess what? If the principles are correct, they are correct, whether or not you go to church or not. So the fact of the matter is, for one reason, you leave your mother and father, and that is to cleave to your wife. So you leave your mother and father to cleave to your wife. You don't leave your mother and father to cleave to nobody else. You don't leave your mother and father to cleave to nobody else. You leave your mother and father to cleave to your wife. That is the principle. You can't love your mother more than you love your wife. This or no, me know it can become contentious. You can't love your mother. Let me tell you something. You cannot love your mother more than you love your wife. And some mothers would want you to treat them better than you treat your wife. That is rubbish. If that's the only reason why you can leave your mother and father to cleave to your own wife, then the bottom line is, then your mother, whilst you love her, she cannot be placed above your wife. Your mother should never ever be placed above your wife. Respect your mother, love your mother, care for your mother, and your wife should do the same thing too. But you can't have 2 people coming in a car. Your wife will be like, and your wife will sit on the back. Your wife will sit on the front of the car. The car is for you and your wife. Your mother is a responsibility. Your responsibility, yes, but your wife come before your mother. We know no people know because some men have it other way around, but I'm telling you, the right way is to your wife must come before your mother. And guess what? You see, if we do it right, your wife will start to care for your mother like she care for her mother. And if she's a good mother-in-law, listen, she don't want no more than that. She don't want no more than a daughter-in-law. We see her like her own mother. Care for her like her own mother. Ensure that everything what she needs, she have like her own mother. No, there's nothing better than that. But it comes back again to communication. It comes back again to how you select your partner. It comes back again to the fact that you cannot just select your partner and your sexual appetite. You cannot just select your partner and the fact that she look good and her physical attributes alone. No, there's a deeper process that you must go through when you're selecting your partner, both for male and both for female. It can't be that the man is a nice physical specimen and him have pretty ear. Or him is a nice physical specimen and in fear and him a pretty ear. No, that is that's no criteria for you. But you go look at the ugliest woman in the world. The ugliest woman from married to. Because guess what? She will love you more than you can even imagine. And I tell you something too. The burden of loving is not even on the woman. The burden of loving is on the man. Oh my God. You see, remember going to theology now. Remember going to the Bible now. So the fact of the matter is the burden of loving is on the man. Then you can't box her and kick down and lick down. If you love somebody, you can't kick her and box her. I remember many years ago, I used to live at Portmore now. And I remember one day a man and a woman have a discussion. I would rather quarrel. Some, extra marital affair or extra relationship, because I don't think they're married. And I could see from where I am, about 200 yards away, and I could hear when the man thump the woman and kick her. You hear when them connect. And what me say me get mad, me almost bust a blood vessel. It was so barbaric, it was so bad. And I was like, oh my God. Listen, I mean, now the people that have issues, But now the people that have issues in their own life. But now the people that they probably make an error back in their life. I probably make up, I hope an error me make too. But the bottom line is, certain things that seem barbaric, certain things that seem wrong. You can't kick a woman and spit on a woman, box on a woman, bust up her face, bust up her eye, shoot her in her foot. And that's your love her, man. That's your treat you well, love. And vice and the opposite is true too. Because you can't say you love a man and you want to fight him, everything you want to cut him and crab out him eye and cut him in face and cut him in clothes and all them things. No, that can't be love. When you understand what love is, man. And we understand, so when we start this process, communication is the lifeblood of relationship. We need to know where we are getting it from day one. We need to work it out from day one. We need to fix it from day one. We need to decide from day one. It can't be just a one-sided thing. It can't just be something that come on, what I'm saying? Whatever. No, it can't be whatever, anything and anything. It can't be anything and anything. It have to be something that we want. It has to be something that we plan. There'll be something that we work on. There'll be something that we put together and ensure that at the end of the day, the thing that come out, the thing that materialize, the thing that is manifested is the thing that we want it to happen. We want good children. We want children with manners and children who can contribute to society and children with good values. You understand me? And when I say good values, the good values I speak about might not be some of the good values that are purported to be good. No, because some of the values that are being purported now, they are not good. They're not good, and I can challenge anybody with that. They're not good for society, they're not good for family, and they're not good for individuals either. All of this self is not good for everybody. Mark, some of the time you have to think about yourself because the Bible did say, love your neighbor to the same degree where you love yourself. So you have to love yourself. Yes, but you cannot love yourself to the exclusion of everything and everybody else. You can love yourself to the exclusion of the good that needs to be done and all of the other things that need to be done so society can go forward. It is not good. That is bad and selfishness, narcissistic, selfish, self-centered things. No, that can't be. It can't be. How do you think some of us grew up? Families took us in. How do you think some of us grew? People are that way. Not through the legal process, but them know several family couldn't deal with it. So them take we in, them go like them own a picnic, them buy clothes for you, shoes for you, send you to school and do all of these things because them love the children and them wanted the best for the children. But so if people start thinking about themselves, that's what them have. And that's why we have some issues now where people are bringing all witchcraft in the raising them children. Listen, you don't need witchcraft to raise a picnic. You don't need witchcraft to raise a picnic. You don't have to have a gathering to raise a picnic. Let me all touch all that. We don't need that. And what we need to do to cut down on domestic violence and cut down on violence in general, because whoop of people get dead, because of the domestic violence, retaliation and all these things. You understand me? So guess what we need to do? We can just quickly summarize it up again. One, the family unit, the basic building block of society, the one-on-one, papa and mama and picnic, we have to take a whole different route when it comes to our children and growing up our children. We cannot leave it up to the government. The government can't go your picnic. The government have no listen. The government have no moral authority for go your picnic. Yes, we have to teach them of respect, rules and regulation. The police have to change them approach as well. So whenever we get the opportunity to have a conversation, the police must change them approach because violence begets violence, and violence never solves any violent thing. All they do is perpetuate it, and it retaliate and perpetuate and retaliate. That's all you get out of violence. So when police are the sort and them come and kick you down and no, that does have no problem. You take a one man for road, but 10 man hate you because of the injustice that you perpetrate by the innocent man. We need to understand ourselves. And then now we come to relationships now, where of course domestic violence and domestic violence is not just perpetrated by men. So don't get me wrong. It's just that the man is as a physical specimen, oftentimes it's stronger than the woman that he's with. And when you decide to box her down and kick her down and step in her face and spit on her and do all manner of things to her, chop her up and ray, that you don't love her. That means you should have never been with her. That means she should have never been with you neither. Because you don't love her, that's what we're going to do. If that's what you're going to do, you don't love her. And if she want to do your same thing and cut your throat at night and throw at long years, she never love you neither. Communication is key to both areas. And both areas are violence producers. So we have to have a conversation. We're supposed to talk strong and debate strong and get up on our feelings. We're supposed to get up in our feelings. And when we're done, we know say, yo, we just have a conversation, everything good, man. We're good like that. Everything tight back. We not agree upon a point about everything good. Why we can't be like that? Why can't we be like that? Why can't we make decisions that's in the best interest of the whole or the best interest of the majority? Why are we so focused and set that we think that the decision that we make must only apply to us and ourselves? No, that is the things that are causing right now the violence to take place. And again, I say it again, I say it again. The government put plans in place for the people to have them way. Yes? The teacher afraid of the picnic. Yes? The people on the road afraid of the picnic. Yes? The parents afraid of the picnic, and the picnic afraid of nobody. There's something wrong with that picture. Get back to values, man. Spend some time with the picnic, man. We know we are trying to make a next dollar now. We know the hustling hard. And we know you're trying for hustle because everybody feel they must rich. Everybody feel they must drive a car. Everybody feel they must live in one of the prisons where government and private sector are building for people. I know people think gated community is all that. Gated community is a prison. Gated community is akin to the projects that them built for black people in the United States many years ago. That's what we are now living into and saying that we are living uptown. And this is the standard of luxury. I know some people not agree with me, you know. You know, I know some people now are arguing, but that is what it is. That is what it is. People live beside of you, people live on top of you, people live underneath you, people live around you, people live in front of you. A prison that. You might have a pool, but it's a prison. Just like how we have normalized burglar bars in Jamaica. So everybody build a house with a burglar bar. If you say that is it, I say, oh, it's nice and burglar bar good. Listen, burglar bar is prison. It means that our minds have been closed. It means that we have succumbed. It means that we have surrendered to the lawless. So we put up burglar bars as if to say that is part of our nice. So a prison you're living in. And that's why I know if we're born up in night, because when fire take away, and we can't find the key. Because the key in the room and the fire catching in the room. So over we can't sight off in time, we can't pright off in time, we burn up in that and then we need to change the mindset. Oh my God, sorry if I got along so, but let me have a talk, some real talk. Let's talk some real talk. So when we pass the people on the road, we can't say morning. It doesn't matter how them look, tell them morning. Even some of the boy them there, they go to the man, they go, morning. You'll be surprised. We have to get back to a kind of gentle society. We have to. And the only way you can do it is by re-socialization. That's the only way we'll be able to do it, by re-socialization. We have to re-socialize ourselves and re-socialize those with whom we interface. Them need to see we do it. Even if them not do it, them need to see we do it. And the benefits will come back to you a thousandfold. I tell you, I did it. Listen, I practiced this. I went to Coronation Market and I practiced it. And what I got from people was surprising to me. People, when people saw me, they were happy to see me. If I don't come to market for 2 weeks and I go there, them happy to see me. Them don't know me from Adam. Them don't know me chica, child, mama, and father, nobody for me. But yes, them happy to see me. And them wonder why I'm to me. Yes, we can change it by how we communicate. And I'm going to tell you something, and some of them young boy, we are talking about, gunshot and dig up this side concrete and sit and thing. We need to stop by some record. We need to make some people know that we are going to make you dead for hungry because you're not sing the songs that are positive. Mark you, them say negative things get more attention than positive things, But I am suggesting to you today that it's only that way because we allow it to be. If the marketing strategy recognize when they do them numbers and content, if them recognize that we are reject that, there will be a change. So those who are in creative industries, those who are doing some of those things, we know the parents. Come, I can tell you something, disposable income belongs to a certain group of people, We have more disposable income than them, And we don't even start to know that we don't want that. We need to start a forum to say, no, we don't want that. It's time for us not to be silent. It's time for us to start talking about the things that we would desire and the things that we want to make the society a better society. When we come with Vision 2030, which are big pie in the sky, and yet we have man that talk about him going to murder and going to kill and going to shoot and who just want the long thing. All we can talk about is sex and murder. Sex and murder is the only thing we have in life. And the fathers who supposed to say bona fire upon that, you are going like that, my son have a brain and head. I want him to become an engineer and a scientist and a teacher. I want him to become a productive member of society. All the man listen to every day is John Rowe, this, that, roller spliff, two grabber, Ray, clerks, and the things that we sing about and we get involved in don't mean nothing. Nothing at all. And all we do is devalue the real things in the society. The things that can separate us, the things that can improve our lives. Why do you think people start walking around and kill people? So? Inform of a dead. Gunshot it bust up in a whatever head. And we say it, and when them go down, I say, man, yeah. No, that is the recipe for a decaying society. That is a catalyst for a declining society. That will never make the society grow. Ever, ever, ever. We must change it. And we must change it together. Go find your woman. Go find your partner. Go find your wife. Go find your whoever. Go find them. And together we're going to make a change. Together we can make a change. And all you have to do is start with yours. If you start with your home and your neighbor beside you, you will have started. Hold and thinking about the square. It not cost nothing for some morning. It not cost you nothing for say good morning, how are you doing? Not bad, so and so and so. Nice to meet you. And you're gone with your business. It not cost nothing for say thank you when someone do something good for you. It not cost you nothing. And the returns to you is exponential. The returns you might be that before you ask again the next time they might want to do it for you. Men, and I'm speaking specifically to men now, who love walk up in them feelings and feel them have more testosterone and testicles than them need. You understand what I say? Men need to be men. You are fathers of household. What fathers do? If you don't know, we can discuss it next week. But you go research what fathers do. What fathers do. What is the 10 most important thing to women? You have a wife, find out the 10 most important thing to her. You spend your whole life to prepare for the work where you're getting up. And the woman where you're going to live with for you longer than your working life, you don't know nothing about her. You don't know you don't even know what size panty she wear. You don't know what kind of food she like. You know she cook food and you eat it because she like the food that you like the food that she cook. Some men don't know talk about she want shrimp, but because chicken and she love chicken, she just cook some curry chicken. What is it that the women in your life like? How is it that how you're cheating with your daughter? When your daughter choose a man, she going to choose a man that they go to man middle. She going to choose a man in the pants below in posterior. That means which part in brief done, that's how in pants start. She going to choose a man like that? She going to choose a man that smell like same beard for 10,000 days and still come on the bus or up and that's who you want? She must choose a man like you. And you must be the example. You must be the example. Any man who your daughter choose must be able to measure up to her father. If she can't measure up to her father, then she don't want him. Those are the values that you must inculcate in them. The very best. My father is hardworking. My father pay him bill. My father love me. My father give me the things that I need and things that I want. He probably can't afford everything, but whatever he can afford, him give me. Him give me the talk. Him tell me how to live. Him tell me what to expect next in life. Him tell me how I'm going to do my thing and conduct myself. That's the kind of father. You understand me? And that's the kind of man she will choose. And you have a responsibility to ensure that she knows that you are the father of the house. You are the father of the house. Not a next man. You're the father of your house. Me the father of my house. If we are neighbors, then the values together. You can say, yeah, man, that's how we grow up again. And yeah, we are grow up in the right. And we are doing things. None of our children, and I dare say this, we ought to ensure that none of our children, girl or male child, get up and start to fantasize about criminal elements because of how them look and how them carry themselves. We must put a stop to that. No more loving dog pa. Yes? And dog pa is a human being. So every one them take a bush. But my thing is, if him is a gunman, me not understand. If my daughter she gonna know from there and say, yo, this brother, yeah, no, girlie, if you go east, you go east. But me not go with you. I mean, I want east come to west, because west me live. So me, you understand me? We have to make them know these things. And, we have to, and the values that we inculcate in them should allow for them to critically examine the people who they will choose to become their partners. And not a one-sided thing. Because him if you go critically evaluate she and she critically evaluate him for the best come together. Men, hard talk, you know. This is another caveman talk. This is a hard talk. But these are things that we need to do. And finally, let me say something. We cannot glorify wrongdoing. Anything we don't know about, we leave out. Nobody discuss it. But we can't glorify wrongdoing. So a man physically assaulted woman, we can't glorify that. We don't know what because we can't glorify that. When a man verbally and psychologically abuse a woman, we can't glorify that. And we can't say, yo, you're a real man, you're a real Jenna. No, you're not a real Jenna. Real Jenna no manipulate. Real Jenna no manipulate. Real Jenna influence by them action. That's how real Jenna work. Real Jenna influenced by them action. If me ever say me love you, me ever love you. You understand me? And me say me love X, you gonna love X, and by my action, by my example, you'll get support. So we can't glorify these things. And matter of fact, we need to talk to ourselves, because if we are doing these things, if we are playing the mind game and the manipulation game, yes, and the mental abuse and the psychological abuse game, we need to stop. What we are doing is destroying people. I mean, not just destroying them, we're destroying ourselves. It is self-destructive. And therefore, we need to stop. We need to stop. Reassess yourself, man. If you can't reassess yourself, find some help. Go get some help, man. Go talk to a big man. Go talk to a man who have him things sort out proper. But do not continue to abuse. When we abuse each other, you know what we do? We pass on that broken person to our next person who would have loved them. But guess what now? Because they're broken so much, there's no trust, there's no love, there's no empathy, there's nothing. So the shell move on to somebody else. And the shell move on to somebody else. So the male shall move on and the female shall move on. And what we have is a cycle of corruption, a cycle of abuse, a cycle of things that we just can't find no end to. We must stop it. And it breeds a cycle of violence because we don't communicate well. We don't talk about the real thing. So you can talk about the fact that you're good looking. You're good looking, yes, fine. You're sexy, yes, fine. She is sexy and she's good looking, fine. What else? What else? You want a long-term relationship? Yes, we want a long-term. What else? Just want to get married, man, and the wedding have a shot. What else? When the honeymoon done, when the nervous anticipation of good sex done, what next? What next? What shall we eat? Because we can't eat sex. Sex nice, but you can't eat sex. You understand me? How do we operate? When you reach a stage where you only down to the moon now, and we're going back to normal. 9 to 5, somebody got to go to work. The bills got to pay. The children got to be taken care of. Who need to go to school, need to go to school. Together we build. We want a house together. We want car. What is it that we want? What school will our children will go to? What we're going to say? We're going to send them to government school. Yes, we're going to make sure they get all the best so them can get extra lessons. Yes, to pass them exams and them can move up. What kind of life do we want? What kind of community? Those are questions that we ask each other. What kind of community do we want to live in? Do we want to live in a community where everybody a burglar bar and we feel like we're safe, we don't safe? We have created a dead trap for ourselves. If some I'm in there, you can't chuck through the window. Your kitchen catch a fire and your gas pan in there, if you can't chuck through a window. The possibility that a gas pan explode before you pull the grill, if you come out of the living room, if you come pull the grill, if you come out from the carport to pull that grill, it explodes and you're dead, shrapnel kill you. I can tell you something. We need to know design. You see this thing about place to work and to live and to rear and people build all kind of skyscraper. That is foolishness too. Mark, I know people need place to live. But the fact of the matter is the price alone is exorbitant and the price alone basically is debilitating. And what we're doing is taking away money from the next generation to fill the pockets of a few. It's a project. We're building projects in Jamaica now. We call it gated community. It's projects. There's a saying, it says, you know, when the dictators know that them think perfectly, you know, the people who they would have oppressed will not feel like they're being oppressed. As a matter of fact, they will embrace their oppression. They will embrace the ideas that are forced into them, that are inculcated into them, that have been drilled into them. They will believe it to be a truth when it's a lie. Do we want a community of high-rise building where we have no trees, no place where your kid can run and play? We have had that with the cell phone. The cell phone have taken away our ability to socialize on a normal level. People can ghost people now. First time you couldn't ghost somebody, your brother live beside of you. You see him every day. You ain't going to see him school and I ride skate and I go race board ass when the rain fall. You know, go on a river, go chuck off together and go ensure that each other come back. And if one man rush a virgin, the whole and go fight him. Listen, that was socialization back then. We get skin off knee, we bust up the head, we up the chuck, you know, we do all manner of things. We go raid the mango tree, we raid the ackee tree, we raid the coconut tree. Everybody tree get raid as long as it's in season and in fruit and fruits upon it. Those are days when we socialize. We go cook together on the hill, 2 cheese pan, 4 pound of flour, and 2 dozen ackee. And as the flour them float, we juke them with a stick. Who juke them first, get a flour, yes, and some man get 2, some man get 1, some man get half. But the bottom line is we socialize, we made things together, we spoke to each other, we quarrel with each other, we fight with each other, we make up back with each other. Your parents knew my parents knew your parents, and everybody knew everybody else. You understand me? And when them parents talk to you, you're trying to go back and tell your granny because them tell your granny that second beating. No, man, I tell you straight. It might seem harsh then, it might seem barbaric to some of us now, but we are better off now than then. We can solve problems. We can solve problems. We can work together in groups because we used to do that. That was not something I'm teaching at school. That's how we do every day. When we are playing scrimmage, when we are being skate, when we are race, when we have our own Olympics round the block. You understand me? What the we never 40 meter, because I go more than 40 meter. But of course, we are competitive, we love each other. And when we are cook, everybody share. And we run many boats. Boats run day and night. We run boats every day. I remember there's a woman, good friend of mine, she saw them. The night when them asleep, we are cook out them food, we are cook out the curry chicken and go on and we are send Lynch to go 2 pound at the beef half I might think we had days of food over there. You understand me? 2 o'clock at night, we don't eat and don't watch TV and we come back our house. Listen, we had fun. But not only that, but we are now progressive thinkers. We can solve problems. We don't have to teach you critical thinking because we know that long time. We work out the dynamics of everything. We work out dynamics of everything. How fast you need to go for a skate. If you want to skate, jump 4 foot. How fast you need to go. Who needs to push over that? We never have no helmet. We never have no knee pad, we never have elbow pad, we never have no, we have nothing like that. We rode bicycles, we rode cows, we rode donkeys. We learned to swim without the instructor there. Yeah, man. I tell you. We learn what kind of food we eat too. Cowboy apple and all these things. Listen, sweet cup and all these things. Them young people now, them not enjoy them things. And remember our childhood pleasant. No matter how much fight we have, we remember pleasant times in our childhood. When we saw some problem, we made some good friends. Out of that period, I have had friends for more than 40 years, which is older than enough for them. Me have friends for 40 years. Me have friend where I go now to 50 years. One day I check them and say, you know, a long time I know Bill, you know. I say, a long time I know Bill, you know, because from me come at when I know Bill, you know. As a little boy and a Bill and them brother less down there, you know. And Birdie and Puma and all them man, you know. Me know them man for more than 40 years. You talk about 50 odd years, me know them man there. And the love still there, them still pass and heal me, them still pass and check me, school still pass and heal me. We have missed something, you know. What we have done now is miss something. I'm not even sure what we missed. But the thing that we held as valuable is no longer valuable. And I think we need to go back to some of those values. It served us. We never walk and shoot each other and kill each other. So it served us. Murdering people was not the first thing that come to our mind when we disagree with them. It served us. And again, it can serve the community and it can serve the country. If we take back our position in the family, we can impact on crime and violence. And I'm not saying that we don't need good policing. We need good policing. I mean, if we use all of the electronic gadgets at our disposal to ensure that we keep the peace and keep the place safe. Yeah, we need that too. We need for police to also understand that it's not violence them going to use to win people. If a man attack you and shoot after you, we can understand the violence. But if nobody attack you, you can't if a man and dashing down in a van and dashing up on the ground and take out your gun from him and these things. All they do is create a monster. All they do is create somebody to hate you. All they do is create another person who might become your enemy. So we need to rethink policing. Yes. The police needs to disabuse itself of the colonial power that the police force had before. Because what the colonial police force had before, you know, was simple. They were the owners of land and the plantation, and we were the peasants. We were the slave. We were those who claimed to get freedom and never get a donkey, nor a cow, nor a quarter acre land for plant two finger banana. So it was their job to keep the peasants and the slaves and the farmer slaves in check. That's how the police was evolved. But that is not what we have today. We have today a society where we are free men, a society where we are contributing, a society where we have our businesses and our properties, although them say it's crown land. But the fact of the matter is we are contributing to the society. And therefore the police must treat with us in a particular way. They need to stop treating with like say we're not nobody. And everybody have a story, you know. Because no matter how poor a man is, they have pride. So we need a different kind of policing. And we need for the fathers. Again, we come back to the father, you know. But not father alone, father and mother, but through the father me a chat right now. We need to get back to how we organize our family, how we treat our family, the values that we inculcate in our family. That is what will change Jamaica. Jamaica will never get rid of the violent situation until the family take back its rightful place. Because the family can demand from the government some changes, you know. We can demand from the government some legislation, you know. We're going to have the voice, we're going to have the power. But the fact of the matter is we can. We can not just a slogan. We can mean that we can do this. The day we stop supporting artists who glorify violence and death and who denigrate women and do all these things, you see, until we said no more, then it always happen. And mark you, some women will say no more too. Because the fact of the matter is we're in a private situation. We know we say I can't think in a private situation. When we have sex with all manner of foolishness. But the bottom line is We don't have to have it out there because what you have to know is the coin is being flipped. First time a man feel like he was a dominant one. No, you realize the women that said them dominant. Because the woman said, we don't need you. Me I work, me have my money, me have my car, me have a house, we don't need you. If I want some satisfaction, I go buy the piece of plastic and make it work for you. Two battery. We don't need you. And no people talk about that. But I'm saying, I care, I shana, or what they miss something. I mean, I've say, no man, them two enough to because them are perpetrate a certain kind of thing. Them not perpetrate a certain balancing, it's like counterpoint, like man versus woman. There's no man versus woman. There's no woman without no man, and there's no man without woman. The independence thing is a foolishness. It was designed to divide and rule. It was designed to conquer us. It was designed to give us this sense of yeah man, we have something, we have nothing. How can you be an independent people? And when them say emancipation done, them pay the slave master for the loss of service for your service, and them never pay you for your service. The people who own you get paid, and you who were used by those people never get the pay. What kind of independence am I talking about? Right now, that's why I say reparation is a must. We defend that to the ground, to the last, before I dash everybody. Listen, them need to give you back something. Them can't pay for murder and kill and the ill treatment and the cruelty. Them can't pay for that. But me I say, reparation must be a part of our process going forward too. There's no independence. There's only interdependence. Ladies and gentlemen, I've gone on and I've poured out my soul. I see, wow, a number of persons. Thank you so much. You know, so many valid points. You know, great talk, a lot of hard hitting points. That's how it have to be, Sir Morgan. Yes, 004. Yes, Akela. That's how it have to be. That's how it must be. Can I say until we get real too? We have a tendency to be diplomatic and we clothe the discussion and the argument in, some facetious adjective, We make it seem nice and rosy. No, it's hard. It's hard when people can't afford certain things. But you see, we must make hard decisions too. If you live in a board house, we make out a 4 pallet and 2 pieces of cardboard and a piece of sponge on the ground. You know if you have 4 pitney. You know if you have 4 pitney. If you live in a house and the house now have no roof on it and a dirt floor and you have 6 pitney, you know if you have 6 pitney. And I'm not saying that God wouldn't bless you that, but I'm saying that we must now start to think. If I cannot afford X, why would I add to that burden? No, people understand, when you have a baby and you can't feed the baby and the baby a ball, I'm in your head, I'm in your head space. I'm so. You're mad. You're mad. If you're a good father, you're mad. If you're a good father, you're going to tear down somewhere because the pit never eat. So why put yourself through all of that? As you progress, as you move forward, as you plan with your partner, with your wife, with your spouse, because me have stop use the political correct term now. When you plan with your wife, when you plan with the female, male and female, when you plan with your spouse, yes, those plans must be brought to bear on the things that you want to accomplish, and then you can build upon that. You have a house, you can have picnic. You start to become more disposable income, you can have more picnic. This is Man Cave. Man Cave one more time, And it's hard hitting. We have to look at the reality and we have put it right out there. We have spread it out so we can look at these things. These are things that we have to contemplate. And we can't hide anymore. If we want the society to change into a better society, we have to play our part. Man Cave. Another Sunday evening. Another hard-hitting Sunday. Yes? But it's something that we can accomplish together. Thank you for watching the Man Cave. Thank you for participating. Thank you for the comments. Thank the tech team for doing a fabulous job. We start a little shaky, but we wrap up the thing proper. good to have all of you online. It's good for you to be sharing. It's good for us to have a discussion. And if you have any points, by next week we'll be able to hear some of those views and share some of those views. Man Cave, have a wonderful afternoon. If you like me, you're going to look something to eat right now. We have one more thing to do before we lock off, so don't go away. There's a video that we want to show you about 3 minutes off. So we're going to ask our tech team to, put up that video, and we're going to marinate on some of what this lady has to say. She was hard hitting too. Some of it she says scientifically proven to be true. So those are things we can contemplate even as we plan our lives. Bless you, Sir Morgan. Bless you, sir. Tech team, can we have that video? The internet sometimes giving us a challenge, The flow don't flow so very straight, Yeah. But there are times when they give us good service. There are times when they're eking up like, they might too much to drink, but it is what it is. Wi-Fi. Yeah, internet has hit us. So we're going to forego that. We're gonna work that for next week. We're open. You can comment on our Facebook page, our WhatsApp group, and of course, you can look at our YouTube channel for all the past episodes. And we hope you enjoyed it. We hope it's not just an enjoyment, but we hope it caused you to think. We hope it stimulates some brain, some activity in the brain cells, so that we can together move the thing forward. Again, there are a number of things we have to do together. We do plan to have the project done, and of course, the project is. I'm going to tell you, it's a basic school in Portsmouth. Let me get that up quickly. There is a basic school in Portsmouth. Um, yes, and they are the ones that we want to um, assist us getting some stuff done. I'm not seeing it just now. We're going to post it though. Some painting, the school desire requires some painting. And as men, we can come together. It's really a half day work if we pull together and move the thing forward. And we do have some artists among us, so they can actually put on some of the, redo some of the graphics and so on, the ABCs and so on and so forth. We can do it too. We can learn to do it together. So we want to contribute to that. So we're going to plan for that. A date will be announced next week where we can come together to do that. We're also finalizing, so we need to have some more intense discussion. It's called a men's summit. Yes, a men's summit where we're going to look at a number of areas. We want to strengthen, the men in, financially, family wise, and so on. So we want to discuss a number of areas pertinent to you guys and how you can roll it out and move forward. I want to also suggest to you too, that you can use the internet. The internet now and our international partners have become very um, flexible in acquiring. If you want education, if you want to be trained in certain areas, it's not costing as much as it used to cost one time. It's actually done online, and you can get your certification online. We want to explore those possibilities. We want to ensure that at the end of the day, you are not just educated, but you're trained, and that you have various options in terms of your income streams. And therefore, we need to explore those possibilities as well. Again, we in during the summit or before the summit, we want to do some training with how we can make money on the internet. And we're not talking about chopping the line or scamming. We're talking about offering services on the internet and how we can benefit from it. So we are actually looking into that. I'm actually looking into how we can create the kind of account that we would require individually to get paid in US dollars, which means it comes straight to you. If it goes through PayPal, that's kind of difficult right now. A number of banks in Jamaica are not offering that kind of service. So we're trying to figure out how we're going to do that legally. So that's what we're working through and we're working with, and we're going to make it happen for us. All right. So look forward to those plans. Look forward to participating in the Men Summit too, because that will be a face-to-face summit. And we want everybody to just come out and we just enjoy ourselves. Projects are there, the summit is there, and of course, season two might be up. So we're going to look at season two and look at some other areas where we can strengthen. This is a resource for men and women because I know some wives listen to it. I was told that today that we listen to it too. I don't have a problem. So we're going to find a way to build stronger bonds, stronger relationships, and of course make our society, our homes, better place to live. Man Cave, and I am Horace Prince. I'm your host. Man to talk Wally, and a man who actually speak say the truth and the honest disposition have to be placed on the table. So have a wonderful evening. Thank you for being with us. Bless up Tech Team. Tech Team has been doing a good job. Wi-Fi thing giving us a little problem, but that's how it is sometimes. We move on. We bless everybody. We bless. Man talk. I'm not here. My tech who will give me that, chum 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 chum, and I can't sing it. Chum 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 chum. But I need to learn to sing. Chum 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 chum. Chum 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 chum. No, 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 my thing. Man talk. Over and out. There goes my tech. And there goes I.